Hello, and welcome to this time to both learn about and to experience some spiritual practices that can be so life-giving and have been to so many through the ages, especially in times of struggle and tension and when anxiety just seems to be floating in the air around us. It is important for us to be more intentional about matters of faith. So over the next few weeks, each Monday and Friday in this series, we're going to introduce a new spiritual practice and then give you some time to experience it. This series comes out of an event in December called Held Together. It was led by Pastor Michelle, by Jen Moix, by Gemma Elms, and their teachings in that event were recorded and are now offered in this series. Some of the spiritual practices include centering prayer, Visio Divina, where music is used to help connect us to God, Visio Divina, where visual arts are used in this same way, journaling, the labyrinth, and some others. Our prayer for this series is that you will truly be given time to find grace and guidance during these challenging times. Many blessings.
The Visio Divina it's actually translated as divine seeing. And it's related to Lectio Divina, which we've talked about. But instead of scripture, we're using visual elements to let God speak to our hearts through this method. And I've only done it once, and I did it with the UMW group here. But the best way I would say to do this is to choose something that really speaks to you. And I mean, if you look at the history of this form of prayer, you think more back to the Catholics and the Eastern Orthodox communities where there are icons that are often used in prayer. And I don't know about y'all, but I can go into, even though I'm not Catholic, I can go into a Catholic church and all the icons just to sit and gaze and contemplate, they speak. So what has happened is, just like so many of the different spiritual practices, they're showing up more now in the Protestant areas, Protestant communities. So the person that wrote this article about it grew up where she had a bunch of stained glass windows. She was able to look around, and they're beautiful. But with Visio Divina, it doesn't have to be something even religious. I mean, it could be a picture. I know the last time I went to Crystal Bridges, I've been there several times, and I thought, oh, here I go again. But what I found myself doing is picking out images that spoke to me and sitting and contemplating with those images. So that's pretty much what Visio Divina is about, is finding some form of art, something that speaks to you, that you sit with, and then you hear God speak to you through that image. So these are the steps, and I kind of put them at the bottom of your picture just so you have this to take home. But the first is to find an image. Find that image that speaks to you. Tonight, I chose your image. And then prepare your heart for prayer. And I know you might even Google, if this speaks to you, Google it. I had different sites tell me different things. Some suggested beginning with prayer. Some suggested beginning with scripture. I just went with this site because it was pretty basic and gives you an idea of what it would be like. Then you allow that image to speak to your heart. It might be just a part of the image that you focus on, that you're drawn to, and you gaze upon it for a minute or two. Close your eyes and still see that part of it. And then reflect on the entire image. What do you hear? And as you reflect, what do you hear God whispering into your heart? What thoughts or questions does the image raise? And what emotions do you feel? And then you continue to just reflect as long as you need to. Then briefly close your eyes and rest your eyes and pray through the image. Just the ability to rest and reflect in God. So as we sit here for a few minutes, if you can take this image and think about these steps, whatever it is that speaks to you. I'm going to allow time for us to each gaze and reflect.
In just a moment, we will review the instructions for Visio Divina. Following those instructions, you will see 30 seconds of image 1, and then 30 seconds of image 2, and 30 seconds of image 3. Use this time right now to decide which of these images you would like to focus on. When that image appears on the screen, press pause on your video. Then go through these steps for Visio Divina. Prepare your heart for prayer. Pray. Allow the image to speak to your heart. And then reflect on what you hear God saying through this piece of art. You can try it with each one of the images, but start at least with which one of these resonates with you. May God speak to you through art.